Hey guys, it's me again, as per usual. So for this video, I decided to ixnay on the robe and turn the fan on because, oh my god, it just got real hot in here after filming that yesterday's video. Because you can see, I'm wearing the same thing. I'm actually going to put my hair up because, like I said, it is H-O-T-T hot in here. Okay, so as this video title says, oh no, my hair looks weird. I wanted to kind of give a couple of real quick tips on moving in to your new place and getting like an apartment and stuff. So I guess first, like if you haven't followed my vlogs, I don't know where I was going with that. This is technically the second place that I have moved into that hasn't been like a dorm or like CP housing or something. And we discovered this by we spent a couple of days researching a bunch of different places, looking at reviews and videos and stuff. Like, use the internet, do what you can and use the internet, and then go outside. Like, we literally looked up a couple of addresses which were along our work route or in the area of where we worked. And then we spent a day, I say we as in like me and my friend Stephanie and Emily at the time, we took a day to just go explore and check out apartments. So we checked out the apartments that were on our list, and we also checked out any apartments that we saw along the way. We didn't schedule appointments or anything, which a lot of places we found out you needed to, but half of them we didn't like the places anyway, or they were too expensive anyway, so we decided to ixnay on that. We came with 20 questions, a million different questions, thinking about everything from, can we have animals, can we put up stuff on the walls, like how does carpet, like is carpet cleaning a thing, parking, all these different things. We had like a million questions, and then as we went on, we added to that list. We had like a huge piece of paper like of everything that we had, and then we got on a wait list for a couple of places, and then the place that we live now is what we ended up with. And I've been living in the same apartment complex for almost 4 years now. And we moved from a 3-bedroom to a 2-bedroom, and from the first move and even the second move, there were things that we didn't necessarily think of. Now the second move, the reason why we had things that we didn't think of is because we literally went in and then 2 weeks to say, hey, we want to move into a smaller place, and then 2 weeks later we were moved in. So it was more of we weren't prepared. But I'm making this video to let you guys know / kind of think of a couple of things that you may need to move about moving into a new place, like moving into your first place, or just moving out in general, because even moving out there were things that we didn't think that we were going to need to do. So moving into a new place, so we had I feel like our place has like a million fees, but that is something that you need to ask about, and they aren't just gonna like throw it out there. Sometimes you'll have to put in for like a deposit, and that deposit is basically you committing that you want this place, you want to move into this place, and that can be kind of pricey. It could be anything from like $100 to a couple of $100, and that deposit you may or may not get back as well. We also had an application fee, because they do background checks on everyone who's here, so that is something else that you may have to think about. What other fees do we have? We had the pet fee. We have pet fee that we pay per month. It's like $10, but we also had like an initial pet fee, or it's more like a pet deposit rather, that they use for any issues that they may have in the apartment. Like, let's say when Kiki got fleas, that's paying for the person who sprayed the place. It can go into carpeting, like when my roommate's dog peed on the ground, and just like stuff like that, like cleaning and fixing any issues or things that your apartment may be damaged by from your pets, because let's be honest, pets can be damaging to a home. It happens. We had to pay this is something we didn't know when we first moved in. We had to pay up front that month's rent. So like the day we moved in, we had to pay like $900, I believe. and of rent, and we were not aware of that, or maybe we were told and we just forgot, but like little things like that, you definitely want to, like I said, like look into, like, are there any fees we're gonna need to pay, and make a list of those fees so you don't get overcharged for anything. That's what my husband did when we were moving into the new place. He was like, are there any fees that we have to pay? What do we have to pay, and what order do we need to pay them? Because there was the transfer fee, transferring from our 3-bedroom to our 2-bedroom, and so on and so forth, and we made a list and we put it up so we knew what we needed to do and checked off everything. Let's see, what else? Okay, renter's insurance. Renter's insurance, energy, internet, energy / like water, depending on where you're living, internet, and I think that's it, internet / TV I'm gonna put in. Those are all things that you need to think about that I did not even think that was going to be a necessity. Renter's insurance is literally just like, if anything happens, you're insured, and your insurance company will pay to help fix whatever happens. Here in Florida, we have a lot of hurricanes. Most places are hurricane proof, but that doesn't mean a hurricane can't come around and make damage happen anyway. And a lot of places will require you, and it has to be perfect. I know one thing that I've had issues with is because we changed the address. The apartment complex we live in, they changed their mailing address, and then I also got married, and so I had to change my name. Those were 3 changes that I had to make, and changing those things on that pay document has been like pulling teeth, just because they have to get everything approved. Energy was something else that I had to change, because my energy was under my old roommate's name, and they take personal information with that. I didn't want to bother her and contact her in taking that personal information and changing the name on the account, which I would say if we had known that that's what we needed to do to change the name on the account, we would have had to do it before. But again, didn't know. Make sure you look up these things. And I had to close that account basically and open up a new one, but that was a whole thing, and that I had to kind of, again, figure out on my own. But do your research, and also the energy company that we use is recommended by the apartment complex, so that is something you also want to talk about, like what energy system do you use, or what water system do you use, and looking into their prices and how they set up things, and ask questions about that, like how do we set up this, that, and the other thing. Same thing with internet. We desperately needed internet, and I didn't know where to go or how to go about doing it, because my parents got internet from DirecTV, and I knew that like channels and things, or like regular TV, satellite TV, was something that we didn't necessarily need. So I was like, well, where do I go for just internet? At the time it was Bright House, now it's Spectrum. But like, look into what's available in your area, because I know originally it said that Spectrum wasn't available in our area, and then come and found out it was available. So look into that as well. Did I cover everything? And when it comes to moving, I highly, 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 highly recommend you start recruiting friends and family for moving. You can, yes, pay movers to do that. I personally don't feel safe in doing that because they're moving all of your things. I'd much rather be like, hey, can you be careful with this, or so on and so forth. That, and also I feel like you're more forgiving with your friends and family if something does happen, whereas you're like, you broke this, how could you? Pay me for it. Jared and I moved this last time, just the 2 of us, and we were able to do it, but we also didn't have a whole lot of stuff. We first moved into the older place. It was Emily, Stephanie, Jared, my husband, and then Emily's boyfriend at the time, that moved in, and then I eventually moved in my stuff later. Oh, also Stephanie's dad, I think, came to help. But even that was a lot. So try and think about it this way: the more people you recruit, the quicker the move will be, which gives you more time to get things all settled in. Oh, I should also point out, it wasn't just Jared and I that moved in. It was Jared, myself, his mom, his dad, and his great aunt and great uncle that came in to help move things. They just weren't there the entire time. They helped us move all the large stuff, which we were very thankful for, because there's no way I would have been able to do that. The guy just decided he's going to start hosing down things outside. Yay. But what else do I have to say? yeah, like recruit as many people as you can, because again, the more people, and make it a thing. Like if I was able to, because we only had 2 weeks really to get everything together, so it's not enough time to really get people together, but make it a thing. Like I'll buy you all pizza, you know, order pizza, or I'll get you guys dinner or something, and make sure you guys are hydrated and take breaks. I know that was one thing that Jared and I constantly had to remind each other, is like, you need to sit down and you need to take like a 5-minute break, especially because we were moving in the middle of summer, in the middle of the day. Like it got real hot. Whether you use boxes or whether you just use containers, I tried this move to just put things in containers as much as I possibly could. I hate buying boxes, especially when I do so much online shopping and I throw away so many boxes, so I refused to buy boxes. But again, if you have the time to slowly pack everything up, it will make it a lot easier to like move and organize things. We had, like I said, the luxury of, we were literally moving just across the sidewalk, so like I felt like packing things up just to unpack them literally 2 seconds later was kind of ridiculous. But if you're moving like across the street, or not across the street, if you're moving like down the street or like a long distance, I highly recommend packing things up. I recommend using a U-Haul if possible, and just packing it up as much as possible. And I'm filming Jared. I think I'm gonna do that. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video now. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Babe, I'm gonna fall. Bye.